Hello, everyone. My name is Alex. Today, I want to share something that changed my life forever. The best way to learn spoken English. You know, there was a time when I couldn't even form a simple English sentence confidently. I understood a few words. I knew some grammar rules. But when it came to actually speaking, I froze. My tongue got tight. My mind went blank. And I always felt that I'd never sound natural like native speakers do. But today, I speak English confidently. I can talk to people anywhere, at a cafe in Los Angeles, in a subway station in New York, or during a business meeting in Chicago, without hesitation or fear. So how did that transformation happen? How did a regular guy like me, who struggled to speak even basic English sentences, become fluent and confident? That's exactly what I'm going to share with you in this video. Not just theory, but real experience. The real best way to learn spoken English. Something that works in real life, not just in textbooks. Before I begin, let me ask you two simple but powerful questions. 1. Do you feel confident when you speak English, or do you still hesitate? 2. What's the biggest challenge you face when trying to speak English? Vocabulary, grammar, or fear? Tell me your honest answer in the comments box below because I'll personally read and reply to some of you there. All right, let's start this amazing journey. 1. Understanding what spoken English really means. Most people think spoken English means just speaking words. But it's not. Spoken English is not about showing your grammar knowledge. It's about communicating naturally. When I first moved to the United States, I used to think if I learned more vocabulary and grammar, I'd automatically become fluent. So I bought grammar books, memorized words, and even watched English news every day. But when I tried to speak, I still couldn't. Why? Because spoken English is not learned by studying. It's learned by using. Speaking is a physical skill, just like swimming or playing guitar. You can't learn swimming by reading a book about it. You have to get into the water. Similarly, you can't learn to speak English by only reading or listening. You have to open your mouth and use the language. That was my first big realization. Learning spoken English is not about knowledge. It's about practice and habit. 2. Think in English. Don't translate. This was one of the biggest turning points in my journey. In the beginning, every time I wanted to speak English, I would first think in my native language and then try to translate it into English. But the translation process made me slow, nervous, and awkward. By the time I finished forming a sentence in my mind, the moment to speak was already gone. Then I met a man named Daniel in a coffee shop in Los Angeles. He was a native speaker and also an English coach. He told me something that completely changed my mindset. He said, "Alex, stop translating. Start thinking in English. Even if you think in small phrases, do it in English. It's the only way to train your brain to speak fast and naturally." So I started practicing. Instead of thinking "mujhe pani chahiye," I'd say to myself, "I want water." Instead of thinking "wo mujhe phone karega," I'd say "he will call me." Slowly, my mind started to get comfortable thinking directly in English. And when that happened, speaking became easier, faster, and smoother. That's the secret, yeah. You must think in English, even when you're alone. 3. Listen like a baby learns. Do you know how babies learn their first language? They don't study grammar. They just listen for months and months, to their parents, to sounds, to expressions. And their brain starts connecting words naturally. That's how you need to learn spoken English too. When I was in New York, I used to listen to podcasts every morning while traveling to work. My favorites were All Ears English and The English We Speak. At first, I didn't understand every word, but I didn't stop. I just kept listening. Slowly, I began to catch words, tones, and the rhythm of English. One day I noticed that I was automatically copying the way native speakers paused, emphasized certain words, and used phrases like, you know, I mean, or kind of. That's how my English started sounding natural, not robotic. Listening is the foundation of speaking. If you listen more, your speaking will automatically improve. 4. Speak every day, even alone. When I tell people to speak every day, they say, "But Alex, I don't have anyone to talk to." I totally understand. I had the same problem when I lived in a small apartment in Houston. But then I discovered something powerful. I could talk to myself. Yes, talking to yourself in English is one of the best ways to improve your fluency. I used to talk about my day out loud, like, "Okay, Alex, today I'm going to the store. Then I'll meet John at the cafe. After that, I'll work on my project." It may sound funny, but this simple daily habit transformed my English. When you speak out loud, you train your tongue, your mouth, and your confidence. You stop being afraid of making mistakes, and your fluency naturally grows. So even if you have no one around, talk to yourself. Pretend you're explaining something to an imaginary friend. This habit is one of the most powerful tools to develop spoken English. 5. Learn phrases, not words. This tip made a massive difference for me. When I used to memorize individual words, I often forgot how to use them in real life. But when I learned phrases, everything became easier. For example, instead of learning the word recommend, I learned the phrase "I'd recommend that." Instead of memorizing busy, I learned "I've been pretty busy lately." Learning phrases helps you speak naturally and automatically. It's how native speakers actually talk. So when you hear someone say, "That sounds great," or "You've got to be kidding me," don't just understand it, repeat it, use it, and make it part of your spoken English library. 6. Pronunciation and accent. Focus on clarity, not imitation. When I was in Los Angeles, I used to admire how Americans spoke. Their accent, their rhythm, their confidence. I wanted to sound exactly like them. But I realized later, you don't have to copy an accent to sound fluent. You just have to sound clear. Your goal is not to be American or British. Your goal is to be understood. To improve clarity, practice pronunciation daily. I used to practice tongue twisters like, "She sells seashells by the seashore." Or record myself saying, "Better butter makes the batter better." Listening to your own voice helps you correct mistakes. Remember, fluency equals clarity plus confidence, not accent imitation. 7. Shadowing technique. The secret of fast fluency. This is one of the most powerful methods I discovered. It's called the shadowing technique. It means listening to a native speaker and repeating exactly what they say. At the same time, almost like an echo. I used to do this with YouTube videos. I'd play a short clip of someone like Jimmy Fallon or Ellen DeGeneres, pause after every sentence, and repeat exactly how they spoke. This technique improved my pronunciation, rhythm, and confidence, all at once. If you want to sound natural and fluent, practice shadowing for 10 minutes every day. You'll notice the difference in just a few weeks. 8. Surround yourself with English. When I was living in Chicago, I started something I called the English Environment Challenge. For 30 days, I surrounded myself with English. Everything. My phone language, my Netflix shows, my music playlist, even the sticky notes on my wall. Every morning I would read a quote in English. Every night I would write my daily journal in English. Immersing yourself in English tricks your brain into believing that English is part of your life, not just a subject. And that's when the magic happens. You start thinking, reacting, and even dreaming in English. 9. Overcome the fear of speaking. Let me be honest. The biggest problem isn't vocabulary or grammar. It's fear. I used to be terrified of speaking. I thought people would laugh at me or judge me for my mistakes. But one day, in a cafe in San Francisco, I met a woman named Sarah. She told me, "Alex, mistakes don't make you weak. They make you human. You'll never improve if you stay silent." Her words stayed with me. From that day, I decided not to fear mistakes. I started speaking with everyone: Uber drivers, store clerks, strangers in the park. And guess what? Nobody laughed. In fact, most people appreciated that I was trying. Confidence doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from being brave enough to speak, even when you're not perfect. 10. Practice in real-life situations. To learn spoken English faster, practice in real situations. When I went grocery shopping in Los Angeles, I practiced asking questions like, "Excuse me, where can I find the bread section?" When I ordered food, I'd say, "Could I please get a large latte with almond milk?" These small real-life interactions built my confidence. If you live in the US, use every opportunity to speak, at the store, at school, at work. If you don't, create your own opportunities. Talk to people online, join English-speaking communities, or participate in conversation clubs. 11. Record and review yourself. One of the best habits I developed was recording my voice while speaking English. I'd pick a topic, record myself for 2 minutes, then listen carefully. I noted my mistakes, pronunciation issues, and filler words. This helped me improve incredibly fast. When you listen to your own voice, you become your own teacher. 12. Patience and consistency. Fluency is not built overnight. It's built through daily practice. I used to spend 15 to 20 minutes every day practicing English, no matter what. Even if I was tired, I'd still practice. After 6 months, I noticed a huge difference. After 1 year, I was speaking fluently. So be patient. Speak a little every day, and one day you'll look back and realize you did it. 13. The real best way. A lifestyle, not a lesson. If I could sum it up, I'd say, the best way to learn spoken English is not by studying it like a school subject. It's by living it. Think in English. Speak in English. Listen to English. Write in English. Dream in English. The moment English becomes part of your daily life, you'll become fluent. Naturally, effortlessly, beautifully. 14. Final thoughts. So, my friends, learning spoken English is not just about words. It's about transformation. It's about believing in yourself, building habits, and never giving up. If I, a regular guy who once couldn't speak a sentence, can become fluent, then trust me, you can too. Remember, consistency beats perfection, practice beats theory, and courage beats fear. So go ahead. Start speaking today. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Create it. Thank you for watching, my dear friends. If this story helped you or inspired you, share it with someone who's learning English too. And don't forget, tell me in the comments below. 1. What's the biggest challenge you face in speaking English? 2. Which of these methods will you start using from today? I'll be reading your comments and replying to some of you personally. Keep learning, keep growing, and remember, Every word you speak in English takes you one step closer to fluency. Stay confident, stay positive, and I'll see you in the next video.